There is incredible power in the words we speak, especially the quiet ones we whisper to ourselves when no one is listening. Words hold vibration. Words create. Words heal. And today I want to share with you two of the most powerful words you can say to manifest anything your heart desires. These words don't need to be shouted. They don't even need to be shared. In fact, the secret is this: whisper them to your soul, not the world. Protect them. Guard them. Let them rise from the deep truth within you. Because when you say these two words with belief, with presence, and with love, you align yourself with divine creation. I am is a creative command. It is the beginning of everything you are, everything you believe, and everything you are in the process of becoming. These two words are not just sounds or phrases we casually say. They are the foundation of all manifestation. They are declarations to the universe, whispers to the soul, and blueprints for the reality you are building in every moment. When you say I am, you are not simply describing your current state. You are commanding the energies around and within you to rearrange themselves in accordance with your spoken truth. You are instructing your subconscious mind to accept and reinforce an identity. Whether you say I am tired or I am energized, I am broken or I am healing, the universe does not judge. It simply agrees. Whatever follows I am becomes as self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is why you must be so mindful of what you attach to those two sacred words. You are the author of your life, and I am is your pen. Every time you speak it, you are either building yourself up or tearing yourself down. You are either affirming your highest truth or reinforcing a false limitation. And this is where conscious creation begins, by taking responsibility for your words, especially the ones you say to yourself. Most people use I am without awareness. They say things like, I am always anxious. I am unlucky in love. I am not good enough. These words carry weight. They shape perception. They carve out the emotional and energetic path you walk on. If repeated often enough, these statements become beliefs, and beliefs become patterns, and patterns become your life. But you can change that. You can take back your power. You can use the I am as a tool of creation, not destruction. You can speak with intention and allow your words to build the life you were always meant to live. When you begin to say, I am powerful, I am worthy, I am abundant, something shifts. At first, it may feel strange. Your old beliefs may resist. Your ego may try to argue. But speak these words anyway. Not from a place of force, but from a place of remembrance. You are not pretending to be something you're not. You are remembering who you've always been beneath the noise of the world. Words are vibrations. They carry frequencies that either expand or contract your energy. I am is the frequency of becoming. It opens the door to alignment with your highest potential. The more you speak life into yourself, the more your body, mind, and energy begin to agree with your truth. Say it slowly, say it with feeling, say it as if it is already true. Because it is. Your job is not to beg the universe for permission. It is to boldly claim your birthright. You were not put here to suffer, doubt, or live small. You were born to awaken to the divine truth within you, that you are a creator. There is no need to convince others of who you are. Your I am doesn't require external validation. It simply needs your belief. Speak it quietly if you must. Keep it sacred. Don't share your affirmations with those who cannot yet see your vision. Let your energy speak louder than your words. Manifestation begins not with action, but with identity. Once you claim who you are, the rest begins to align. Your choices become different. Your posture changes. You begin to walk like the person you've declared yourself to be, not out of arrogance, but out of peace, out of knowing. So many of us wait for the outside world to confirm what we want to believe about ourselves. We wait to feel successful before we say, I am successful. We wait to fall in love before we say, I am lovable. But the power of I am lies in its ability to precede the evidence. Say it first, believe it now, and the proof will follow. Your words are seeds. Your emotions are water. Your belief is sunlight. Together, they grow the garden of your reality. Be careful what you plant. Tend to your inner soil. Speak over yourself like you are speaking to someone you deeply love, because you are. You don't need a fancy script. You don't need hours of effort. You only need to pause, breathe, and say with gentle conviction, I am enough. I am ready. I am aligned. I am free. And then walk in that truth. Let it guide your steps. Let it heal the old stories you've carried for too long. Let it remind you that you are not broken. You are becoming. The I am is your doorway to all things. Say it with reverence. Say it with purpose. Say it until the echo of your truth becomes the only sound you hear. And never forget, what you speak, you create. Keep your affirmations sacred and silent. There is immense power in the quiet things. In a world that constantly pushes us to speak louder, share more, and prove ourselves, we often forget the magic that happens in silence. Your affirmations, your sacred declarations of who you are becoming, are not meant for public validation. They are a conversation between you and your soul, between you and the divine intelligence that created you. When you whisper to yourself, I am healing, I am abundant, I am loved, it may not seem like much is happening, but in the unseen realms, energy begins to move. Belief begins to take root. Life starts to rearrange itself in your favor. It doesn't always need to be announced. Sometimes the most powerful transformations happen in stillness, in privacy, in the sacred space where only your spirit listens. There is wisdom in keeping your affirmations sacred, not because you are hiding, but because you are protecting. You are nurturing something delicate, something new. Just like a seed planted in the soil needs time in the dark before it rises into the light, your affirmations also need time to grow before they can be shared. If you dig up a seed too early to show others, you stop its growth. The same is true for your intention. Keep them warm, quiet, and safe until they are strong enough to stand in the open on their own. When you tell the world what you're manifesting too soon, you open the door to doubts, projections, and resistance, not just from others, but also from within yourself. Sometimes people around you don't mean harm, but their disbelief or skepticism can plant tiny seeds of fear in your mind. And fear is what chokes the life out of faith. When you hold your affirmations in silence, you give yourself the gift of clarity. You allow your inner voice to become louder than the opinions of others. You stop asking for permission and begin trusting your own power. You no longer need anyone to agree with what you are creating because you already know it is real within you. Affirmations are sacred promises. They are not meant to impress the world. They are meant to reprogram your subconscious mind, heal your wounded places, and align you with a greater version of yourself. Speak them to your reflection, speak them in prayer, speak them as you walk through your day. But don't rush to speak them to others. There is also spiritual discipline in keeping your affirmations sacred. It teaches you patience, faith, and inner conviction. It teaches you to believe without evidence, to trust without proof. You learn to become your own source of encouragement. And when your manifestation finally appears, it will feel even more profound because you nurtured it privately, believed in it silently, and loved it into existence without applause. You don't owe anyone an explanation for who you are becoming. You don't need to explain your affirmations or justify your vision. What you speak over your life is between you and the universe. Let your life speak louder than your words. Let your peace be your proof. Let your energy do the talking. When something is sacred, you treat it with reverence. You don't toss it around carelessly. You protect it, honor it, and trust it to unfold in divine timing. Your affirmations deserve the same respect. They are not just words. They are your prayers, your intentions, your spiritual blueprints. Keep them sacred. Keep them close. Let them glow in the silence of your heart. And in that silence, miracles begin. Without effort, without noise, without needing to explain how or when. Life responds to your inner alignment more than your outer announcements. The energy you carry, the belief you hold, the consistency with which you nurture your truth, these are the forces that shape your reality. So let your affirmations be sacred songs that only you can hear. Let them live in the stillness of your morning rituals, in the quiet moments before you fall asleep, in the pauses between your thoughts. Let them become part of your breath, your rhythm, your being. Whisper them to the stars. Repeat them to the mirror. Sing them to your soul. The world does not need to understand. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be transformed. And transformation begins with sacred silence, with private devotion, with the quiet power of affirming who you are becoming without asking for permission. You are allowed to keep some things for yourself. In fact, you should. The deepest truths often bloom in silence. The strongest faith is often built in solitude. So protect your affirmations. Water them with love. Believe in them even when no one else can see. And one day, when they blossom into reality, you'll know the silence was never empty. It was full of creation. Say them with emotion. Don't just repeat your affirmations like a lifeless chant. Don't let them become another task you check off your to-do list. Let them live in you. Let them rise from your heart, not just your lips. The energy behind your words is what gives them power. The universe does not respond to empty declarations. It responds to the vibration you carry when you speak. Emotions is the language of the soul. It is the amplifier of intention. When you say, I am loved, with warmth in your heart, with tears in your eyes, or with a smile that reaches deep into your being, those words become alive. They are no longer mere syllables. They are creative forces. You're not just hoping, you're feeling it as real. And that feeling draws the unseen into the seen. We have been conditioned to think that emotion is a weakness, that we must stay stoic and unaffected. But in the world of creation, emotion is strength. It is clarity. It is direction. It tells the universe, this matters to me. This is what I choose. This is what I welcome. You cannot fake emotion. You can't trick your heart into caring. But you can awaken it. You can soften into your affirmations. You can slow down, close your eyes, and feel what it would be like if your words were already true. Because in that moment, you are no longer separate from your desire. You are embodying it. When you say, I am healed, feel what healing feels like. Is it peaceful? Is it freeing? Let that peace spread through your chest. Let it wash over your mind. Let it wrap around every wound and whisper, you are whole now. Say it until your body begins to believe it. Say it until your breath slows and your shoulders drop. Say it until healing is not a wish, it is a knowing. When you affirm, I am abundant, don't just imagine money or material things. Feel the emotion of freedom. Feel the joy of giving and receiving. Feel what it's like to know that you are supported, safe, and flowing with the current of life. Say it with a smile. Say it with gratitude for the things you already have. Let abundance rise within you and watch how it begins to reflect outside of you. Emotion makes your affirmations magnetic. It's the bridge between thought and manifestation. Thought is the blueprint, but emotion is the fuel. Without it, your words are like seeds on dry ground. But with it, your words bloom. They take root. They flourish. Speak as if your future is already here. Declare your truth not as a distant possibility, but as a present reality. When you say, I am enough, let it echo through your entire being. Let it untangle the lies you've believed about yourself. Let it wash away years of self-doubt. Let it bring tears to your eyes if it needs to. That is not weakness, that is power. That is healing. Every morning, when you look in the mirror, say your affirmations, not because you have to, but because you get to. This is your sacred moment to remind yourself of who you truly are. Put your hand over your heart. Feel the beat of life within you. Speak your truth with love, with reverence, with emotion. You don't need perfect words. You need honest ones. You need words that mean something to you. You need to say them like they matter, because they do. Speak to yourself like someone who deserves love, success, healing, and joy. Speak like someone who is finally ready to receive. Speak like someone who remembers they are divine. Emotion also creates momentum. The more you feel your affirmations, the more real they become. And the more real they become, the more natural it is to act from that truth. Suddenly, I am confident isn't something you're trying to believe, it's something you start living. You walk taller, you speak clearer, you set boundaries, you shine. Let yourself feel, let yourself care, let yourself dream with your whole heart. And when you speak those dreams aloud, fill your words with light, with fire, with love. Don't rush, don't mumble, don't hide. Speak like the universe is listening. Because it is. Speak like your soul is awakening, because it is. Say them with emotion, say them with truth, say them as often as you need to, until your mind surrenders, your body aligns, and your life begins to shift. Because it will. Emotion is energy, and energy always moves in the direction of your deepest belief. Let that belief be wrapped in love. Let it be felt deeply. Let it be spoken boldly, and let it be the beginning of everything you've ever dreamed of. Align your actions. If you want your affirmations to work, if you truly want to manifest the life you're dreaming of, you must make sure your behavior reflects the truth of what you're speaking. Words are powerful, beliefs are transformative, but without aligned action, they become wishes floating in the air. Your actions are the physical proof that you believe what you say. You cannot say, I am confident, and then shrink yourself to please others. You cannot say, I am abundant, and then live in fear of spending or receiving. You cannot say, I am loved, and then continue accepting less than you deserve. True change happens when your choices begin to reflect your affirmations, when your daily behavior begins to rise to meet the truth you're claiming with your words. Manifestation is not magic. It is alignment. It is the harmony between your thoughts, your feelings, and your behavior. It is walking, speaking, and choosing as if what you desire is already true. This isn't about pretending. It's about acting from a place of belief rather than waiting for proof. It's about becoming the version of yourself who already has what they desire before the outer world confirms it. If you say, I am healing, ask yourself, how does a healed version of me act? How does that version treat themselves? What boundaries do they have? What foods do they eat? What environments do they stay away from? What thoughts do they allow to take root? Then begin to live as that version of yourself now, even in small ways, even when it feels unnatural. That's how change begins. Step by step, choice by choice. Your actions send a signal, not just to the universe, but to your own subconscious mind. When you act in alignment with your affirmations, your subconscious begins to accept them as truth. And once your subconscious believes something, it starts filtering your reality through that belief. You begin to attract experiences, opportunities, and people that reflect your inner state. But the opposite is also true. You say one thing and do another, you create confusion. You send mixed signals and your energy becomes scattered. The result? Delays, frustration, stagnation. Think of your affirmation as a promise you are making to yourself, and your actions? They're how you keep that promise. If you say, I am worthy, then honor your worth. Don't chase what isn't chasing you. Don't beg for love. Don't settle for crumbs. Make decisions that reflect your new standard, even if it's hard, especially if it's hard. Because every time you act in alignment with your highest truth, you rewire your identity. You strengthen your power. You shift your reality. You don't need to take massive leaps all at once. Alignment is found in the small things. Waking up 10 minutes earlier to meditate, saying no when something feels wrong, choosing nourishing foods, decluttering your space, keeping your word, listening to your intuition. These seemingly small actions, done consistently, compound into a new life. They tell your spirit, I'm ready, I'm serious, I believe in this new version of me. When your actions match your affirmations, the energy flows. Things begin to move in your favor. Why? Because you're no longer just speaking your desires, you're living them. You become magnetic. You become a clear channel for receiving. You become the person who no longer needs to chase. You attract what belongs to you simply by being aligned. So if you say, I am abundant, begin to live generously, not recklessly, but with trust. Give with love, receive with gratitude, let go of lack. If you say, I am confident, begin to speak up, walk with purpose, say what you mean, stop shrinking. If you say, I am at peace, then don't keep entertaining chaos. Protect your space. Breathe deeply, slow down, choose calm over drama. There is no power in saying affirmations. You don't live. Words are seeds, but action is the sunlight. If you want those seeds to bloom, you must tend to them with care, with consistency, with courage. You must be willing to let go of the habits, thoughts, and behaviors that no longer align with your new truth. This is how real transformation happens, not overnight, but daily, in the moments when you choose your higher self over your past self. When you pause and ask, does this action reflect the person I say I am becoming? And when the answer is no, you gently choose again. You are the painter of your life. Your affirmations are the vision. Your actions are the brushstrokes. Keep painting, keep choosing, keep aligning. Because when your actions speak the same language as your affirmations, the universe has no choice but to respond. And the life you've been dreaming of will no longer feel far away. It will become the life you are living, one aligned step at a time. Release the need to explain. Let go of the compulsion to justify your dreams, your healing, your growth, or your silence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the path you are walking. The choices you make to protect your peace, the desires you hold in your heart, and the way you choose to evolve are sacred. And sacred things do not require validation. Too often we waste our precious energy trying to convince others of what we know deep within ourselves. We try to explain why we're changing, why we're setting boundaries, why we no longer tolerate what we once did. We feel the pressure to make others understand what only our soul was meant to hear. But growth is not always loud, healing is not always visible, and your truth does not need permission to exist. When you constantly explain yourself, you shift your energy outward. You start performing for the approval of others rather than anchoring into your own inner knowing. You allow the opinions and projections of others to interfere with your divine process. But you are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be authentic to your own journey. And that journey will not always make sense to others. And that's okay. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to evolve without explaining every step. The people who are meant to walk with you won't need a detailed map. They'll feel the energy shift and honor it. And the people who question your growth may not be meant to go where you are going. Let that be. The need to explain often comes from a place of self-doubt, a desire to be accepted, a fear of being misunderstood or abandoned. But the more you try to control how others perceive you, the more disconnected you become from your own truth. And the moment you begin living for others, you step out of alignment with your soul. You don't need to explain why you said no. You don't need to explain why you need space. You don't need to explain why you are choosing joy, solitude, or self-love. Those who respect your boundaries will honor your decisions without interrogation, and those who don't are simply showing you where you no longer need to give your energy. Every time you release the need to explain, you take back your power. You shift from trying to be understood to standing in your truth. You reclaim the energy that was once spent on overthinking, over-explaining, and over-apologizing. And you redirect that energy inward into your healing, your creativity, your alignment. There is deep peace in silence. There is quiet confidence in simply saying, "This is right for me," and leaving it at that. No defense, no debate, just a grounded knowing that your intuition is enough, that your soul's voice is valid, that your journey does not require external confirmation. When you stop explaining, you start embodying. You become the version of yourself who no longer needs to be seen, praised, or approved. You become magnetic, not because of what you say, but because of what you radiate. Your energy becomes clear. Your boundaries become firm. Your presence speaks louder than any explanation ever could. You will find that not everyone deserves access to your process. Not everyone needs to understand your reasons. And that is not cold, it is wise, it is protective, it is honoring the sacredness of your inner transformation. Sometimes the best response is no response. Sometimes the greatest power is silence. Let people misunderstand you, let them talk, let them guess. You are not responsible for their interpretation of your life. You are responsible for your peace, for your truth, for your own becoming. You are allowed to evolve without making announcements. You are allowed to choose differently without writing a speech. You are allowed to feel deeply without explaining every emotion. Your journey is valid, even if no one else claps for it. Your healing is real, even if no one else sees it. And your growth is beautiful, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Let go of the need to explain what your heart already knows. Stand in your quiet truth. Move in silence if you must. Let your life speak. Let your alignment shine through your actions, your energy, your peace. Because the people who truly see you won't need explanations. And the people who demand them may never see you anyway. So trust your path, trust your timing, trust your inner voice. And remember, what's sacred doesn't have to be loud, it just has to be true. Practice daily in front of a mirror. It may seem like a small act, something simple or even awkward at first, but this one habit can shift your entire life. Looking into your own eyes and speaking words of love, truth, and power is one of the most healing, empowering practices you can embrace. Because when you speak to yourself in the mirror, something deeper happens. You confront the one person you've been seeking approval from your entire life, yourself. The mirror doesn't lie. It reflects not just your face, but your energy, your truth, your self-position. It reveals how you really feel about the person staring back at you. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it brings up emotion, but that is the point. The mirror shows you where the healing needs to begin. When you stand in front of the mirror and say, I love you, you may feel resistance at first. You may hear the voice of judgment. You may see old wounds reflected in your eyes. But stay there, breathe, keep speaking, because repetition creates reprogramming. And love, spoken consistently, begins to soften the inner critic. It begins to dissolve shame. It begins to build a new relationship with yourself, one rooted in compassion, not criticism. Mirror work isn't about vanity, it's about vulnerability. It's about looking into your eyes and saying the words you've always longed to hear. You are enough. You are safe. You are beautiful. You are worthy of love just as you are. These aren't just affirmations. They are soul declarations. They are the new truth you are choosing to believe. Doing this daily creates consistency. It becomes a ritual of self-connection. Just a few minutes each day can rebuild the trust you may have lost with yourself. It can repair the damage done by years of negative self-talk, comparison, or rejection. And slowly, day by day, your reflection begins to change. Not physically, but energetically. You begin to see a version of yourself that feels stronger, softer, more whole. There is power in hearing your own voice speak love. When you say, I am enough, and you mean it, your body responds, your heart opens, your nervous system calms, your energy shifts, and you begin to carry that energy with you into the world. Your outer world is always reflecting your inner world. If you want to be loved, you must first love yourself. If you want to be respected, you must first respect yourself. If you want to be seen, you must first see yourself. The mirror is your training ground for this. It is where you practice becoming the person you want the world to reflect back to you. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Some days you may cry, some days you may feel nothing, some days you may not believe a word you say. That's okay. The power is in showing up. The healing is in the repetition. The change happens not in the performance, but in the presence. Start with 5 minutes. Stand in front of your mirror, look into your eyes, and speak to yourself gently. Tell yourself what you need to hear. Speak to the wounded parts. Speak to the strong parts. Speak as if you were talking to someone you deeply love, because you are. You might say, I am learning to love myself. I am proud of how far I've come. I am open to joy. I forgive myself for all the times I forgot my worth. I am becoming more confident every day. I trust my journey. These words are seeds, and the mirror is the soil. Water them with intention. Repeat them with emotion. Let them take root. Over time, this practice will not only change how you feel about yourself, it will change how others respond to you. You will walk differently. You will speak more clearly. You will make better choices. Why? Because your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. You begin to require less from the outside because you are filling yourself from within. You no longer look for constant approval or validation because you've already given it to yourself. And that self-assurance is magnetic. It draws in healthier connections. It opens doors. It creates peace. So make it a daily ritual, a moment of connection, a sacred pause in your day. The mirror is always there, waiting for you to show up, waiting for you to speak life into yourself, waiting for you to remember that you were never broken, only waiting to be fully seen. You are your greatest healer. Your voice is your most powerful tool. And your reflection is not your enemy, it is your gateway back to love. Speak with gentleness, speak with truth, and watch how the world begins to mirror back the love you've found within.